Hey guys, we're the Sons of Pitches, and we're back with another episode previewing this weekend's games. We've had a massive week of football with the Champions League's first legs concluding. We had the Europa League, where we had a few surprise results, and we have a few massive games this weekend coming up in all four leagues, which will be essential in concluding what will be the final top four relegation. And yeah, we're excited to get into it. With me, we have Satyajit Banerjee, we have Suhaira Ahmed, and we have our new addition, Manav Malhotra. And so, guys, introduce yourselves. Manav, go first, man.
Hey guys, this is Manav. So this is my first time on this show. I'm really excited to be here. And I just want to say that I'm a Chelsea fan. If like Satyajit, I am a part of the Premier League supporting cast, and Zuhair also, who's a Man United fan. So yeah, it's nice to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, definitely. Another Premier League addition to the team. We're excited to have you. Zuhaira, why don't you go ahead, man? This is my new name for you, by the way. I know you
Thanks
like
for that introduction, Tikmania.
so.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Hey guys, I'm here again, and it's always a pleasure to discuss football week in, week out with you guys. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to this week's discussion, looking forward to the upcoming games, and to analyze, breakdown tactics as usual.
Saro, take it from here.
Hi, everybody. It's glad to be back and doing another preview. And I'm looking forward to taking you through some of this weekend's most exciting fixtures. So, yeah, excited to do that.
Yeah. Saro's like the grown up in our midst, so he's got the real mature vibe going for us.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, he's like the mature adult who keeps things calm, and you and I just run riot sometimes. Which
Yeah,
we don't give him props for that. That's a difficult job, but he does it well.
he does it well, man. It's difficult to be mature, and we're really losing that battle, man. So, but yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about the Europa League first, man. The Champions League, we put out some posts. So guys, if you haven't checked those out, please go to our Instagram page and look at those. We've had a few surprise results. So we had United winning 6-2 against Roma, which was interesting, and we had Villarreal winning 2-1 against an Arsenal side that just didn't turn up on the day. So, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean the Arsenal result was surprising. It was extremely shocking, and I know everyone hates on Unai Emery, right? But then he came back and showed us what he's capable of with Villarreal, and I'm really proud of him. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I don't care about Arsenal, and I haven't watched a single Villarreal game. But like, yeah, I respect them for that. And also, the United game, well, 6-2 is becoming a pretty common scoreline for us, with us beating Leeds in a similar fashion. So I wasn't really surprised last night, even when we went into the changing room at halftime with a one-goal deficit. Um, I was pretty confident that we'd come back, if not in the second half of the fixture, but we had the second leg as well. So I thought we have time and we're capable of beating this team. So I wasn't worried. But my team just went out there and said, "Hey, dude, we got you. Like, you don't have anything to worry about. We're gonna finish this fixture right here, right now." And they put four. They put five, my bad, into the goal to make it a 6-2 scoreline. I was absolutely mad with those Fernandez, Cavani, and that Pogba goal. That was insane. But anyway, that's enough about me ranting about United, which we all know to be the most superior team on the planet. But I just want to say that from a neutral standpoint, and I'm going to be as neutral as I can in this regard. Analyzing United's game against Roma last night, I appreciate the attacking football that they played. If you compare United to where they are right now, compared to like where they were a year earlier, um, they've improved massively tactically. So they're playing good, fast, incisive football, and I really appreciate what Ole has done with the team. In my opinion, he's completely transformed the midfield, and not just by bringing in Fernandez, right, but by transforming the likes of Fred and McTominay. Like when Fred came in, he was an absolute nobody. He didn't know what he was doing in that midfield, and now he's such a solid player in that position. And the same with Scott McTominay. I mean, the guy is tall, he's physical, but more importantly, he's learned how to control the ball. He's learned how to control the tempo in the midfield, and I massively, massively appreciate that. So hopefully, I don't know, we get some silverware in terms of the Europa League title, and maybe hope for Manchester City to slip up in the Premier League as well. But I just want to ask Sato, dude, like Premier League wise, the last time we spoke, um, I didn't rate Liverpool's chances of getting into the top four pretty high, but like now that West Ham have slipped up, it's looking likely that it's going to be either Chelsea or Liverpool to take it up, and I think Everton's in the mix as well. But Liverpool have a pretty significant game coming up this weekend in the form of Liverpool United. So, what do you think of that? How like in the current form, how would you rate your chances of beating us on the pitch?
See, on current form, it is not looking very high because, Liverpool have recently had their struggles in scoring goals. I think they've scored, I think, 4 out of some 150 shots in Anfield or something like that in 2021. I mean, that's a bizarre statistic. And yeah, we always look like we're dominating games, but then we can't put the ball in the back of the net. And that has been one of our biggest issues since 2021 began. So as for our chances against Manchester United, it's important to note Jurgen Klopp has never won against Man United in Old Trafford. So I think that's an important statistic. And yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough game going there. And as for our top 4 hopes, I think, it's not looking very good at the moment because we should have won our games against Leeds United and Newcastle United. And we dropped some important points over there. So even though West Ham have slipped up, as you have mentioned, Leicester are going strong. Chelsea are looking like a solid unit as well. So it is going to be extremely tough. And hopefully we get over the line, but it's going to be a very, very, very tough fight. And Liverpool have made it tougher for themselves by dropping those points against teams that they should be beating.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, man. This week's United Liverpool game is massive for Liverpool. I don't think it matters much for them. By the way, can I just on a side note, did you guys know about this running good evening joke about Unai Emery?
Yeah, dude, where the hell have you been?
Dude, I feel like I've been living under a rock. Like I looked up this YouTube thing yesterday about it, and he was just saying good evening, and it was just so funny.
Dude, there have been so many memes about it. I saw this one meme where it's Unai Emery in the dressing room practicing to himself, like saying good evening, and then the minute a reporter comes up to him, he's like good evening, and he just smashes his fists in fury. But yeah, go on.
Oh, okay. This reminds me of the Joey talking French thing. But anyway, back to it. Yeah, United Liverpool is massive. What do you guys think about your lineups? Do you think actually I'm gonna go to Manav for this. Manav, what did you think about United's performance in the Europa League, and do you think it translates? It's gonna translate well against Liverpool this weekend?
My goodness, this Manchester United team looks so different in both halves of the game. Like, who could have predicted that after the first half, the disastrous comeback of Roma, they would have scored 5 goals? But my goodness, what brilliant link up play from Edinson Cavani and Bruno Fernandes and Mason Greenwood after he came on. I mean, they look like the most dangerous team when they are counter attacking. I mean, the prime Real Madrids, we've seen them, but this Manchester United team is on their way, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is on the same journey, I believe, that Jurgen Klopp was with Liverpool around 3-4 years ago, and they are going to get there very soon, and we got to stop them before they get there.
I'm not sure I appreciate that Liverpool comparison, but I like where your heart's at, and with regard to us progressing, not with regard to you stopping us. But yeah, try and stop us, and we'll smash you the frick out of the way.
Speaking as a neutral, and Ole is on the same path that Jurgen Klopp was 3 years ago, and he is going to take Man United into a golden period. very soon. Maybe next year after they have add some superstar additions into the team, more than they already do have. But yeah, 6-2, the tie is over. Manchester United winning the Europa League, no matter whether it's Villarreal or whether it's Arsenal. Manchester United are winning the Europa League, much superior. And I would like to talk about the other fixture as well, Villarreal against Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal on their best day are far superior to Villarreal. But anyone coming into this game knows that Villarreal are a much more consistent team than this Arsenal side. I mean, that game was just so fun to watch. Red cards, goals, and I don't see Arsenal coming back into the tie. And it's going to be a United versus Villarreal in the finals, according to me. And United lift the European Cup.
Nice, nice. Okay, that's a good take, man. For your first take here, you had a good one. Good debut right there. Let's move to the United Liverpool game though. Saro, I'm gonna come to you for this, man. What do you think about? How do you think you're gonna set up against United? How do you think you can hurt them?
So, like it's been mentioned already, Man United are devastating on the counter attack, and I think Liverpool will have to be very, very aware of that. And the way Liverpool play, it falls right into Manchester United's hands. They play with a very, very high line, and that has been exploited quite a few times this season. And if they do play like that, then it's going to be quite easy for Manchester United to attack them on the break. We saw a bit of that in the FA Cup fixture, which they played against each other, where I think Rashford and Greenwood both exploited the high line before Bruno Fernandes hit the winner with a very, very beautiful free kick. And if that happens, obviously it's going to be extremely hard for Liverpool to do anything. So as for the setup, I would like to see not such a high line. First of all, I don't think we have the personnel. We don't have the speed of Gomez and Van Dijk to keep such a high line. And I think to make up for that, we should play a bit deeper. And for my predicted lineup, I guess I'm going to go with Alisson in goal, Robertson and Alexander-Arnold as the fullbacks, Ozan Kabak and Fabinho at centre back. The midfield would be, I would like to see Curtis Jones start. I would like to see him start. I would also like to see Thiago and James Milner in there. I'm not very happy with the way Wijnaldum has been playing. I don't think his performance have been very good lately. So I think it's time to give him a little bit of a rest. And the front three will probably be, I don't know. I don't know if we play with the front three or the front four. I like the front four. I like the idea of the front four. So maybe I'll backtrack and say Jones and Thiago start, and you start with the front four of Mane, Salah, Firmino, and Jota. And yeah, it's a very attacking. I know it could be very fatal if it goes wrong, but at this point, I guess it's time to take risks. So yeah, I think that's my predicted lineup.
Zahar, take it from here. What's your predictions for the lineup? How do you think you're going to set up?
Yeah, so before I get into that, I just want to say that with regards to Gomez and Van Dijk coming back, I'm probably going to regret saying this, but I'm excited for Van Dijk's return because it makes the Premier League more competitive, right? And like what Pickford did to him inadvertently was terrible, and I hope he recovers from that. And I hope we go back to seeing the original Van Dijk, like the badass in defense, because that's always a question, right? He might be fit, but will he ever reach that level again? And I hope next season we do see that Van Dijk, because that makes the top four fight more competitive. It puts more of an opposition towards the likes of Manchester City and obviously towards us as well. But I think from an all-round holistic view of the Premier League, I like to see him come back to his form, if not better. Now, coming to the United-Liverpool game, so we have options up in front, right? I think our back four is going to be pretty much solid. I think Luke Shaw takes left back in place of Alex Telles because it's a big game, and big game wise, we always go with Luke Shaw. The centre back pairing, I don't think that'll change either. So that's going to be Maguire and Lindelof, and the right back we have Wan-Bissaka, who's pretty much irreplaceable. I think he's one of the best, if not the best, in his current form at right back. In the center, for like the longest time, I wanted Donny van de Beek to be played, but Ole has made a conscious decision not to play him like as a starter for the last however many games, and I think I respect that decision because the end of the season is unusually competitive, or rather, it's expected, but it's like we have a lot at stake. So I think what Ole has said to Van de Beek is that look, this season we're going to write it off in terms of playing time for you, but during the summer we're going to work on your form, work in training, build you up, like transform you like he did with Fred and McTominay, and then next season you're going to be a beast in midfield. So I don't think Van de Beek starts no matter how much I want him to. I think we're going to continue with Fred and McTominay as part of the central two, and then in front of them we will have Fernandez in the center, Pogba on the left, and Rashford on the right. Though they might switch wings during the game. And in the start, I think we go with Mason Greenwood, considering Cavani started uh, the Roma game. And I think during the game we might see Dan James come on to offer a bit of pace and if we're winning comfortably, then we might see McTominay. Sorry, not McTominay, but Van de Beek come in. But yeah, that's what I think our formation is going to be. And as far as the fixture in general is concerned, it's been a tight cake contest whenever it's come to Liverpool and Manchester United. I've always been sitting at the edge of my seat whenever it comes to the game because there's attacking threats from both sides, and it could go either way. So yeah, it's going to be a tight contest.
All right. Yeah, that's sort of what I expected as well from your lineups. I think both of you were pretty spot on with what you want, and I think that's probably what a lot of what we're going to see on Sunday. But it's time to sort of move on. Let's just wrap up this United Liverpool topic. What are your predictions for the game? Manav, I'm going to come to you first.
So United Liverpool, I think it's a 2-1 to United. With their current form, Liverpool has just not got any chance of beating them. And I see it as a 2-1 United, and I think Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford are going to be the goal scorers. Yeah.
Oof, okay. Saro, take it from here, man.
I'm going to go on a slightly different route. I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-1 game, considering that the last 6 out of the 9 times that two teams have played each other in the league, they've all been draws. So I'm going to go with a safe 1-1 result, with the scorers being Bruno Fernandes and Mo Salah.
Zohara.
Yeah, thanks, Tikmania. But I think going with the law of averages, with the last fixture, without that performance was above average against Roma. So we're going to see a slight drop, I think, when it comes to the Liverpool thing. And I'm honestly slightly worried about it because if we want to keep Manchester City honest, we're going to not drop any points. But I think we will drop 2 points and it will be a draw. And I agree with Satyajit's prediction of a 1-1 scoreline.
Oof, okay. Interesting predictions there. But yeah, let's now take it down a different route. Let's move to the best league in the world, not the Premier League. Okay, let's move to La Liga, please, because this yesterday has changed everything.
Everyone visibly rolled their eyes when you said that. Just pointing it out to all you viewers out there.
No. La Liga is the shiz right now, dude. We have first separated from fourth by 3 points. Yesterday was massive with Barca losing to Granada. By the way, can I just say, Granada's players, like their attackers, that second goal, that header was insane. What a header that was. And it brought us all a lot of joy. All of us all of us Madrid fans at least, and Sevilla fans.
Yeah, I forget. Which was that one team that was responsible for kicking Granada out of the Europa League? I can't quite remember the name. Do any of you want to help me out there? I think it starts with an M. Some Manchester United.
Was it the same team who went out to PSG in the Champions League?
Oh, you mean PSG, the team that knocked out Bayern Munich?
And Leipzig.
The team
Leipzig.
Who was destroyed by City.
Third, PSG were just lucky to scrape past Bayern Munich. If Bayern Munich had taken their chances, they had absolutely no shot.
If Bayern Munich had Lewandowski, yeah, Choupo-Moting really let them down at the front. But that's a discussion for another time. Coming back on track to La Liga, Shradip, why don't you continue with your La Liga fantasy of it being the best league in the world? And we'll
Okay.
try to oblige.
Well, we have first separated from fourth by 3 points. We have a lot of interesting games coming up this weekend. So we have Barca who play Valencia away, which even though Valencia is not playing particularly well this season, can be a potential banana skin. You have Atletico Elche. Now, I think this is really the pick of the lot because Elche is in the relegation zone, but they're purely in the relegation zone because of their head-to-head record. So the team above them are I'm not entirely sure who they are, but they're on equal points, and so they're behind that team because of a poorer head-to-head record, and so they have everything to fight for against Atletico. So I think they're going to come out all guns blazing. It's going to be an interesting game. I think there's scope for Atletico to drop points here. Bilbao plays Sevilla. Sevilla is Bilbao is a particularly defensive team, and Sevilla like to pass around, so it's really a clash of two alter egos there, and that should be interesting. And Real Madrid play Osasuna, which in Real Madrid's current form can be tricky. So yeah, a lot to dig in. And Manav, I'm going to come to you here. What do you think, man? What are your thoughts about this La Liga season? It's turning out to be quite the race for
It's
title.
just been a roller coaster ride since it began. I mean, Real Madrid and Barcelona nowhere near their best, but my goodness, the way they've picked up their form and the way they've come back. I mean, Atletico Madrid at one point around I think 10 weeks ago were 10 points clear at the top of the table, and now look at them. Now they are not being the top of the table. Nobody considers them favorites to win, and I think, according to me, Real Madrid takes this title. And it will be because of Atletico Madrid slip and Barcelona slip, and Real Madrid, with the experience they have, with the kind of campaign they've had, I just think this Real Madrid team, no matter how weak they've been since the start of the season, no matter all their downs, they are going to take this title home
I
again.
don't know, man. I mean, Real Madrid are a shadow of what they once were. Before, teams used to fear the attacking power of Real Madrid, right? But now, when you look at them when they attack, it's like they don't know what they're doing themselves. And once every match, something crazy will come off and they will score a goal. But scoring goals consistently has been a problem for them throughout the season. So I don't know. Chilip, do you think you guys
Look,
will have
look,
the
Real
attacking
Madrid's
consistency?
recent results have been a lot of nil-alls, if you've noticed, because Zinedine Zidane has been looking forward to the game against Chelsea. He's rested the midfield three of Cruz, Casemiro, and Modric. And if you see, none of the Casemiro has not played. Neither has Modric played a lot. Neither has Cruz played. Three of them have not played a single game in the past 3 or 4, 5 games, I think. And because of this game against Chelsea, he wanted all of them at their very best. But now, after this tie against Chelsea is over, you see the firepower in Real Madrid is going to be back, and Eden Hazard is back, and he's going to help them take the title.
Finally, we have someone who appreciates the magic that is Eden Hazard. The
Of
Chelsea
Do you,
course,
fan,
of course.
Manav.
I'm interested to know, Chilip. Do you concur with that analysis? Do you think you guys have the attacking power to break to clinch the title, or do you think you guys have been lacking there this season?
Well, we've been lacking the goal scoring this season for sure, but I agree with Manav in that Zidane has been looking forward to the Chelsea game. So Modric has just been playing constantly, man, since the last international break. I don't know how he's still running. Apparently, in the Chelsea game, he had like massive back discomfort, but he kept going, and he didn't have a very good game against Chelsea either. Cruz has been injured, but he played 90 minutes against Chelsea. Casemiro's still okay because he was suspended for a few La Liga games, so he got some rest there. But yeah, that midfield is core to what we're doing. Fede Valverde has COVID, so hopefully he should be back soon. Ramos is back, but from an attacking point of view, I think we can't underemphasize the importance of Eden Hazard. So the thing about Vinicius is that he excels when there's space, right? In La Liga, there is no space, so he's a lot less effective then. With Eden Hazard, we get a lot more incisiveness, and touchwood, he doesn't get injured. He should give us the spark that we need to go ahead for the next 5 games that are left. So yeah, that should be interesting. Barca's result yesterday really threw the game open, through the title race open. Well, they have a tough game against Valencia coming up, and and yeah. By the way, Koeman got a red card against Granada, so that was interesting. Um, but yeah, I'm interested about what you guys think about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Barcelona losing has really blown this race wide open, like you correctly mentioned. And Valencia, well, they're a team which, again, they're struggling. They've had their struggles financially. They sold a lot of their big name players, including Rodrigo, and even Kondogbia has gone to Atletico Madrid. So all these have been big losses for them. Even Danny Parejo has been let go. So yeah, they have been no, they have not been at their best, but you cannot count them out. They have some good players like Soler, I believe, is in Valencia. He's an important part, and Jose Gaya, of course, one of the best left backs in La Liga. So they have the personnel to challenge Barcelona, and I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think, but I feel Messi's presence. You can never really say Barcelona are the underdogs, but they will be feeling the pressure heading into this game, especially after such a devastating loss. I think they lost after being ahead as well. So it's probably hit their morale a lot as well. So I don't know. I think hope they will find their feet again and win the next game. But I don't know if they have enough in their tank to win the title. I think, like Mana mentioned, Real Madrid have the experience, but I think they're slowly getting players back as well. So let's see. It is going to be a very open title race. We cannot count out Sevilla as well. Who knows how the season's going to end and stuff like that. So yeah, it's quite interesting. But yeah, Barcelona, Valencia, it's going to be a critical game for them.
Can I just point something out? Barca play Atletico Madrid next week while we play Sevilla. So it's first against third and second versus fourth as it currently stands. And one thing that's important to note is that Lionel Messi is one yellow card away from suspension, and he plays Valencia, which is a high pressing team this week. Lionel Messi and Frankie De Jong. I think there's a third player whose name I'm forgetting right now, but yeah, there are three players who are core to Barca's play who are one yellow card away from suspension and from missing the Atletico game. So that should be interesting. Uh, but yeah, I think that's it for La Liga, man. I think we've discussed it at length. Let's move on to the
But
Bundesliga, where
La Liga isn't the only league that's tightening up. Like I think we've had surprises all over.
where which other league are you talking about? Because all the other leagues are pretty much wrapped up, man.
I mean, League One, for example, I think it's still pretty tight up at the top. And Bundesliga wise, I think Bayern's going to win it. But yeah, it was interesting with Dortmund still looking shaky. I don't think they'll make it into the top four. So um, yeah, so it's not just the Premier League and La Liga that's heating that was interesting this season. I think overall all the leagues have been competitive and thrown us a few curveballs along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, speaking of Premier League, the race could be wrapped up this weekend if Manchester United fail to beat Liverpool and City win their game against Palace. So yeah, that's one league which will be decided, but the other ones, they all have some interesting storyline going, especially in the Bundesliga, where Dortmund, as you mentioned, may not make it to the top four, and they have a tough game coming up against RB Leipzig. So let's see. What do you guys think about that? Like, do you think Dortmund and Haaland, do you think he will inspire them to win, or will Leipzig be too much for them?
I think Leipzig in their current form, I think they take it. But I mean, they've just announced that their manager is going to go, like Bayern basically ports their manager, so that's going to hit morale pretty bad, right? So we might see a dip in their form. As far as Dortmund, well, Dortmund are always a threat to consider. I mean, they're the underdogs when it comes to everything, and I know it's a common theme that all their players get poached by big clubs. And even now, Erling Haaland, one of their best players, is one of the most widely talked about prospects around the world, and most likely is going to move out of Dortmund this summer. But yeah, Erling Haaland, Jadon Sancho, Gio Reyna, and all of these guys are brilliant talents. But Dortmund, somehow they keep going at it, man. They keep coming up with fresh talents. They keep they keep innovating and their attacking threat never stops. So I don't think you can ever count them out as a top four contender. But Manav, what do you think about this? Do you think that they will clinch a top four spot in dramatic fashion, or do you think they're done for the season?
I think if Dortmund can keep the consistency that they have been, if Erling Haaland can keep saving them game after game and scoring for them at critical moments, they are going to make the top four, and they have been in good form. And Wolfsburg and Frankfurt, I think, are their competition. I think they have a game against Wolfsburg too, and they are going to make it into the top four, and along with Bayern, Leipzig, and maybe Frankfurt. But I see Borussia Dortmund getting there till the end of the season in dramatic fashion, as you mentioned. So yeah.
Okay, interesting take. I think Dortmund missing out on Champions League might affect the Erling Haaland transfer a lot. But I think that's about it, right? Is there anything else you guys want to discuss?
There's also the Bayern Gladbach game, which is also interesting given Gladbach did beat Bayern earlier this season. But I think Bayern's going to win this one because lately Gladbach have not been the same since the manager announced his departure, and Bayern have a lot riding on this. If they win tomorrow, I mean, whenever the game is, they win the title. So yeah, I think this weekend we could potentially see the Bundesliga and the Premier League have their champions crowned. So yeah, and moving on, I think we can talk a little bit about the Serie A top four race and the potential of Juventus, one of Italy's mainstays in terms of the title and everything, missing out on Champions League. They're currently fourth, but they're level on points with third and fifth. So, guys, where do you think this goes? Like, which way do you think this goes?
Manav, take this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the Serie A, right? So I think in Serie A, Juventus have just been a disaster since they got knocked out of the Champions League. And Juventus are basically in a transition season. Okay, this is a transition season for them. They are changing the way they've played. If you've noticed, I'm just talking about Juventus right here. They are trying to change the way they play. They are trying to adapt like the rest of the teams in Europe. They play high intensity games. Juventus have just been not that team. They don't press that much. They play pretty delicate kind of football, if you can call that. And Andre Pirlo, since he's joined Juve, that's been his primary motive to change the way Juve play, and that's not going to happen overnight. So, and despite all their struggles, I still see Juventus going through into a Champions League spot along with AC Milan, Atlanta, and of course Inter Milan, who've won the Scudetto, and almost. So yeah, I see Juventus going through, and but I don't see Andre Pirlo staying after this season. I think they are going to shift to Allegri again, and they are going to be back next season. This
Ooh,
season,
interesting. That's a massive take, man. So yeah, I like your point about how Pirlo's trying to really construct a new culture at Juventus. I feel like as fans, a large part of us are often very distracted by the means of instant gratification, where we want trophies and silverware immediately, we want top four immediately, we want Champions League football every year, and I feel like in that race we often forget that sometimes it's important to build a culture in which a sustainable club future can flourish, right? I feel like that's often lost in the shuffle, and that's something that has to be given priority. So I think if Pirlo is doing that, I think kudos to him. It takes guts to do that in modern football, with constant shifts of narrative and constant pursuits of silverware being asked for by the fans and for the board, especially in COVID, right? So kudos to him, and I hope he succeeds, man. I hope Juventus are able to adapt to his brand of football and play their way into being one of the European heavyweights again. So yeah, I hope it goes well for them.
So Tridip, do you have a predicted top four, like Mana mentioned earlier?
I do. I think Juventus make it. In fact, I think I think they probably make it at fourth. I think it stays as it is. I think maybe Milan might just pip Napoli to it, but yeah, I think Juventus make it.
Yeah, it is pretty tight at the top, and I mean in the top four, the top is pretty clear. Inter Milan is going to win it. It's only a matter of time, and yeah, I think we have spoken a lot about Syria.
I think that's about it, man. I don't think that we've covered all the leagues so far. We rounded up the Europa League and the Champions League, and I'm looking forward to next week when the Champions League finalists are when we discover who they are, and that's going to be fun. So we have our previews for those games coming up. So guys, if you're listening, please go check them out. And we have a lot more coming up. We're constantly fighting to put out content for you guys, and we hope you like it. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, just tune in, just stay tuned in, and we hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.
Thank you
Bye. See
guys.
ya.
Bye.
See you guys. Thank you for listening to us.